First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT22 News at 6 with John Paul and Juliana Ferrari.
We begin here at 6 with a weather alert. Right now for you, a winter storm warning is in effect for much of the WSBT22 viewing area, and you can see why as we take this live look from our series of WSBT22 sky cams all over the area.
Yeah, we're in for heavy snow and wind tonight, followed by dangerous cold starting tomorrow and through the weekend. We have team coverage at 6 o'clock with our crews covering the wintry conditions across southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. But we start with meteorologist James Parrish in Storm Alert Forecast Center.
Over the past hour or so, we have seen an uptick in the snowfall rates, and that means those rates are now becoming heavy enough, or the snow is heavy enough, where we're starting to see that snowfall accumulate on the roadways. So travel conditions are likely going to go downhill rather quickly over the next couple of hours, and traveling will become difficult overnight. I do want you to notice the colors on Storm Tracker radar. Notice how we're not seeing a lot of bright white across the area. We're seeing some shades of purple, and where we are seeing those darker shades of purple, that's some bursts of moderate to heavy snow. That's what much of northern Indiana and especially southwest Michigan are seeing right here. Another color that I want you to notice, green. We were tracking that rain snow line earlier today across parts of northern Indiana, but over the last couple of hours, that rain snow line has been pushing to the southwest, which means we are making that transition from a wintry mix of rain and snow across parts of northern Indiana to all snow, and all snow will be the predominant precipitation type moving forward this evening. Tracking some more moderate snow from South Bend, Elkhart, Goshen, Syracuse, Warsaw, even to LaGrange. Perhaps some lighter snow from Michigan City, LaPorte, back towards Knox and Winnemac. But I do expect the heaviest snow with this system will likely come down between now and 9 o'clock this evening. Still seeing some moderate to heavy snow across parts of southwest Michigan, especially around Owashack right now. And once again, I do expect moderate to heavy snow will continue for the next couple of hours. So traveling will become difficult later this evening through first thing Saturday morning. The reason why, we will see widespread snowy and slick roadways across the area. That heavy falling snow as well as blowing snow once the winds pick up after midnight will cause blowing snow. That will lower your visibility. Plus, any water or slush that's on the roadways right now, it is likely going to freeze underneath that layer of snow because temperatures will drop into the 20s overnight. We'll talk about how much more snow will fall in your full storm alert weather forecast.
And the roads have gotten a lot worse within just the last hour or so, especially in Berrien County.
Meteorologist Lynette Grant has been there all day for us. She continues our live team coverage in Niles right now. Lynette.
Yeah, just in the last hour, guys, the snow has really started to pick up, and we're not talking just, light snow. These flakes are big, and they're pretty fat, and they've got a lot of moisture in it, too. So all of that snow and all that moisture is falling on the roads, and it's going to accumulate. The roads are slushy and getting very snow covered right now, again, just in the last hour. And I expect as temperatures drop below freezing tonight, all of that water and all of that slush going to freeze. Now, we've seen crews out and about, both MDOT and Berrien County, plowing the snow, putting salt and sand on the roads to try to make things drivable. But it's going to be a challenge to keep up with the snow tonight as the snow continues to fall.
I definitely can see the roads are getting more slick and looking ahead into freezing temperatures. So I'm a little more worried on the way home than I was in the drive here.
Emergency officials urge that if you do plan to head out tonight for whatever reason, you got to give yourself a lot of extra time to get to where you're going and extra space and distance while you're driving between other cars. That way you can ensure you get to your destination safely. Reporting live in Niles, I'm meteorologist Lynette Grant, WSBT 22 News.
Road conditions are quickly changing as the snow has started to stick on major roads around the city. WSBT 22's Ann Lurie continues our team coverage on the south side of the city off South Ironwood Drive at the bypass, and snowplows that were simply passing through before are now beginning work on those roadways.
And there's slightly less traffic now on Ironwood, and the cars that are on it are, you can see here, beginning to take things a little bit slower, and they're also beginning to leave a little more space between themselves and others. The businesses along Ironwood are starting to have more snow than cars in their parking lots. We caught up with one man stopping for gas who, like many others, is only passing through to head home tonight.
It's kind of a lot of slush out here in the roads. Take their time and take extra time. Just don't get in a big hurry.
Meanwhile, across the way on the bypass, a typically busy road is seeing far less traffic around this time. WSBT22 will continue to keep you updated with the latest on this winter storm on air and online. Live in South Bend, Ann Lurie, WSBT22 News.
Our southern communities have seen a messy mix of rain and snow this afternoon, but conditions there are changing rapidly too. Our live Storm Alert weather team coverage continues now in Plymouth. WSBT 22's Tiana Baxter is live for us. And Tiana, you're seeing more snow right now.
And it's coming down fast, seeing thick snowflakes, and the snow is actually just now sticking to the ground, which may be causing those roads to become slick. The roads have just been plain wet all day just because of that nonstop rain. Now again, the roads becoming snow covered, something that wasn't happening just a couple of hours ago. According to officials, the rain earlier and now snow may cause icy roads as temperatures drop. The plow trucks are still making their rounds and will continue to throughout the night. Marshall County Sheriff's Department says they have dealt with 9 crashes, one leaving a driver injured. With the snow picking up, officials say take extra time getting around tonight, and drivers in Plymouth offering that same advice.
I recommend anybody out there just to be a lot more safe, have 2 wheels on the wheel instead of just one. If it's 65 or 60, you want to go like around 30, 40, and don't trust yourself too much, because you don't want to trust yourself too much. It can cause a lot of trouble.
Stick with WSBT 22, where we will continue bringing you weather coverage all across the area. For now, live in Plymouth, Tiana Baxter, WSBT 22 News.
With all of this snow and dangerous cold this weekend, it is important to know the signs of frostbite. Experts tell WSBT 22 if you're going out this weekend, even if it's just to shovel your driveway, you do need to bundle up. Layering clothes is key in winter weather just like this, as it keeps you dry and warm. If your extremities start to feel numb or tingly after a few minutes outside, go back in immediately.
Just step back inside. You want to get rid of the damp clothing. And again, kind of rewarm your extremities, not with an open fire or big heat source. Sometimes we just will put them in some lukewarm water and rinse them around a little bit.
Experts add if you are not able to go inside to warm up, call 911.
You also need to make sure that your pets are safe during this blast of winter. While our pets may have a layer of fur, it doesn't take them long to get cold. Animals with shorter fur and hair could get cold much easier and need a coat or sweater if they're planning on being outside for longer periods of time. For fluffier pets, make sure to wipe off their fur and paws. Pet Refuge telling WSBT 22 to make sure that all the gunk is off their paws after coming inside so they don't lick the salt. There are also telltale signs of frostbite.
One of the first things I've always noticed with dogs is they're going to start holding their paws up if they start getting cold. They start holding that paw up. And, getting them inside just as soon as possible is huge.
If you see stray or wandering animals this weekend, especially with this dangerous cold, call an expert and they will come out and rescue them.
Plow drivers are working hard around the clock to clear the way for drivers. I'm WSBT 22's Raylan Lee. How the rest of us can make sure to give them room to plow while staying safe straight ahead.
You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
Snowplow drivers are working nonstop to clear the roadways for drivers right now. So what can we do to safely give them that space to work?
Big question. We've got answers. WSBT 22's Raylan Lee at the live desk working this one for us. Raylan, you got a chance to talk with transportation officials about the safety of drivers who are following or trying to pass those plows, and they have advice for drivers.
Yeah, transportation officials from the Indiana Toll Road and INDOT say traveling at least 100 yards behind the plow trucks, if not 200 yards, as they work to make our commute safer. If you take a look at the image on your screen, a graphic from INDOT shows the many blind spots associated with snowplows and where the safest field of vision is.
If the salt that they're putting down on the road is, kind of bouncing up and hitting your underbody of your vehicle, you're definitely too close. So if you start hearing that salt hit the bottom of your vehicle, you need to increase your following distance.
Toll road officials also stress the importance of staying behind plowed trucks, as their job is to clear the way.
We are going to pass them, do it with extreme caution, but I recommend everybody if at all possible, to just stay behind them, because that's really going to be the safest place to be. The road's been plowed, the salt's been applied, so you're probably going to have your best vehicle traction.
While following plows is recommended, NDOT also says some common problems include rear-end accidents from vehicles following too closely behind plows. Drivers must remember that snowplow drivers work around long shifts to ensure drivers have the safest conditions throughout the day.
I put our snow fighters in the same bucket as a first responder in conditions like this. Their job is to be out there. Their job is to make sure the road's safe for you. So they're putting, their safety at risk just by doing the job they're doing, and that gets a little bit more intensified if there's a lot of traffic moving in and around them.
Now, plow drivers are working 12-hour shifts, and their snow routes take typically 2 to 3 hours for the bypass and for about an hour on the toll road. At the live desk, I'm Raylan Lee, WSBT 22 News.
So far today, 1.8 inches of snow was officially recorded in South Bend, but that number will only go up as more heavy snow is coming down. We'll talk about storm snowfall totals from this system in your full storm alert weather forecast.
On this Friday night, our Health Watch looks at the uptick in flu-related deaths among children. And doctors say they're seeing kids with multiple infections of COVID, flu, and RSV coming through the hospital. How to stay safe. Those headlines and much more tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
Now, your storm alert forecast with meteorologist James Parrish.
Many of us have already seen a couple inches of snow so far today, but the heaviest snow with this system is coming down right now. So these snowfall totals are only going to jump. This is my storm total snowfall map that runs Friday through Saturday. So it does include the snow that has already fallen and the snow that has yet to fall tonight through tomorrow morning. Heaviest snowfall totals still look like it's going to be our northwestern communities, especially for places right along Lake Michigan. That's where I do expect 6 to 8+ inches of snow. For Elkhart, Goshen, and South Bend, we're going to see 4 to 6 inches of snow by first thing Saturday morning. Then probably lower snowfall totals for our far southeastern communities, only expecting 2 to 4 inches from Syracuse to Warsaw, Rochester, and Winnemac. So everyone will see at least a couple inches of snow accumulate from this morning all the way through Saturday morning. I'm also expecting some travel impacts overnight into Saturday morning as well. So this system is not only going to be a snow maker for us, it's also going to be a wind machine. The winds will really crank up after midnight tonight and through Saturday morning. I expect sustained west winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts could range between 40 and up to 50 miles per hour through first thing Saturday morning. And with winds this strong, it is likely going to cause some widespread blowing and drifting snow that will likely cause low visibilities for travelers overnight into Saturday morning. Now, so far today, the type of snow that we've seen, it's that heavy wet snow. So with wind gusts this strong, tree damage will be possible as well as power outages. So make sure your phone is charged. Here's a live look outside with our storm alert weather camera in South Bend, provided by Innovation Park at Notre Dame. It looks like the snow has let up just a little bit on our storm alert weather camera right now. Looking at Angela Boulevard, not completely snow covered, but you do see some slushy, snowy spots on the roadways. And I do expect travel conditions will continue to go downhill this evening and traveling will become difficult overnight. 33 degrees in South Bend, southeast wind at around 11 miles per hour. Here's the very latest with Storm Tracker radar. We saw some moderate to heavy snow push from southwest to northeast across the area. That's where we're seeing those darker colors of purple. Probably just some lighter snow moving to South Bend, LaPorte, Knox, and Plymouth for right now. And notice that rain snow line. It is almost out of Michiana. So the predominant precipitation type that we're going to see moving forward this evening, it is going to be that heavy wet snow. Storm system will continue to track to the northeast across the Great Lakes overnight into Saturday morning. And as it does so, it's going to bring in some more snow this evening and overnight. So we will be tracking more snow through Saturday morning from this system. But I do want to point out one more thing. Look at Sioux Falls sitting there at 0 degrees. That's the Arctic air that will move in Saturday night into Sunday, and that's going to bring an extended period of wind chills well below 0. So dangerous wind chills will be possible Saturday night, and wind chills will be 10 to 20 degrees below 0 through at least Tuesday of next week. So Futurecast still shows that widespread steady Moderate to heavy snow across the area through 6 o'clock this evening. Seeing some lighter snow by 9. Lighter snow will continue through midnight tonight, but then here comes some more system snow by Saturday morning. This system snow will continue through midday tomorrow, but tomorrow afternoon the system snow will wrap up, but we will not be done with snow after Saturday afternoon. With that cold air moving over Lake Michigan, that means lake effect snow and additional snowfall accumulations will be possible for Berrien and Cass County Saturday night into Sunday. So for tonight, 25 degrees, snowy and windy, difficult travel conditions. Remember that slush that's on the roadways right now, with temperatures dropping well into the 20s, that will freeze overnight and that will cause more travel headaches. For tomorrow, 25 degrees, warmest part of the day will be tomorrow morning. Temperatures will likely drop tomorrow afternoon. Keep in mind, wind chills tomorrow afternoon will only be in the single digits, so probably not the best idea to have the kids play outside for long periods of time in the snow tomorrow. Bitterly cold and dangerous cold will be possible Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Highs will be in the single digits. Those overnight lows will drop below zero Sunday night into Monday night. But remember, those wind chills will be well below zero Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Notre Dame tries to start a winning streak in men's basketball. Pete visits with Coach Micah Shrewsbury next in sports.
This sports segment on WSBT22 is sponsored by Beacon Health System. Now, sports with Pete Byrne.
The winter storm has forced most local sports to be postponed tonight, and many of tomorrow's activities have already been affected as well. However, there will be one game played tonight in Michiana, and it's a good one. Penn is going to host Jimtown in boys basketball. The Jimmies have won back-to-back games while Penn is looking to snap a two-game slide. I will have highlights of that game back here tonight. If you're curious about information as to when the other sporting events from tonight will be made up, we have that for you. Just head to our website, WSBT.com. And one game that's definitely happening as planned is Notre Dame's men's basketball game with Florida State tomorrow. The Noles adjusted their travel plans and flew into South Bend last night to get ahead of the storm. Notre Dame will be looking for its second win in a row in ACC play, which would also even their league record at 500 if they can get it. 5 games into the conference season, this young Fighting Irish team is starting to build an identity. And it's one centered around defense. Through 5 conference games so far, Notre Dame is holding its opponents to 16 points per game below its regular scoring average. And that has given the Irish a chance to win every time they step on the floor.
We need to do our job on the shot. We need to get back in transition so other teams aren't playing in transition. So they're having to play in the half court, right? And when we get people in the half court, we're tough to score on, and we're getting them into the shots that we want them to take. And then we rebounded it. That's a simple formula, but it also, there's no guarantee that you do it every single game. You got to put the effort in to do it every single game. You got to put the preparation in to do it every single game. We've creeped into the top 50 defensively in the country, but guys are doing their jobs, right? And they're starting to buy into it, and really getting excited about yeah, we're getting stops now, we're doing our job.
And the Irish will try and get the job done again tomorrow against Florida State. Saturday's game tips off at 2:15. Notre Dame goaltender Ryan Bischel was named to the watch list for the Mike Richter Award for the second year in a row today. It goes to the top goaltender in college hockey. Bischel has the 4th best save percentage in the entire country. Notre Dame skates at Ohio State later this evening. And 2 days after Nick Saban announces his retirement, Alabama has found his replacement. The Tide are going to hire Washington coach Kalen DeBoer. DeBoer took the Huskies to the national championship game this year. In 5 seasons as a Division I head coach, his record is 37-9. DeBoer was an offensive coordinator for the Indiana Hoosiers back in 2019. We don't know any of the contract details, but we have seen it reported that he turned down an extension at Washington that would have paid him $8.5 million annually. So I imagine he's probably going to do all right for himself.
Oh, I think so down in Tuscaloosa, that's for sure. Pete, thanks. Back in a moment.
So more snow tonight and tomorrow, then cold weather is really going to be the headline.
Yes, we're still going to be tracking lake effect snow Saturday night through Sunday, but by then we will be tracking the Arctic blast and dangerously cold. Temperatures right now are still in the low to middle 30s, but at times that snow has been heavy enough to overcome those above freezing temperatures, which is why we have seen some snow accumulate on the roadways. Now, that moderate to heavy snow looks like it's pushing off to our northeast. Probably just going to see some lighter snow moving forward this evening, but on and off system snow will likely continue through first thing Saturday morning, with additional travel impacts looking likely tonight into Saturday morning. Don't forget that wind will really pick up after midnight tonight. That's going to cause some blowing snow, so visibilities for travelers overnight into Saturday morning will likely be very low, and that's one reason why traveling will become difficult. 25 tomorrow, wind chills will be in the single digits. Here comes that dangerously cold conditions Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Even though highs will be in the single digits, it will feel much colder than that.
That wraps things up here at 6.
See you at 10 and 11.